In Buddhist cosmology, there are 31 planes of existence where beings are reborn according to their merits and spiritual development. This understanding comes from the divine eye, by which a Buddha or an arahant, enlightened being, can observe the cycle of birth and death across various realms. Through this vision, they can discern the past states from which beings have been reborn and the future states into which they will be reborn. The 6 realms of existence that comprise samsara, cycle of continuous rebirth, devas, humans, asuras, demons, hungry ghosts, animals, and hell, are part of these 31 planes. The planes themselves are categorized into 3 main worlds: the desire world, 11 planes, the fine material world, 16 planes, and the immaterial world, 4 planes. One of the key insights of the Buddha is that all is mind. The mind is creative and generates the conditions in which a being finds itself, therefore, each plane of existence corresponds to a specific mental state. A world is defined not by a physical location but by the beings that inhabit it. It is sustained by their thoughts. If all the beings within a world die or vanish, the world ceases to exist. Similarly, a world comes into existence when the first being is born into it. The distinction between worlds is less about physical separation and more about differences in mental states. For example, although humans and animals may share some of the same physical environments, they belong to different worlds because their minds perceive and respond to those environments in fundamentally different ways. In practical terms, rebirth into these realms is primarily determined by 3 factors: charity, moral conduct, and meditative development. Rebirth in the desire world is influenced by a person's moral behavior and charitable actions. As long as one remains in the desire world, they are still caught within the grasp of samsara, enduring countless cycles of rebirth and suffering. To attain rebirth in the fine material or immaterial worlds, where samsara finally ends, meditative development is also necessary. Liberation from the cycle of rebirth requires the perfection of these qualities: charity, moral conduct, and meditation, ultimately leading to Buddhahood. I will describe the 31 planes of existence, starting from the lowest plane in the desire world and moving upward in terms of consciousness. The 4 lowest planes are the realms of hell beings, animals, hungry ghosts, and asuras. All beings reborn in these 4 unfavorable realms are associated with the 10 unwholesome actions: destroying life, stealing, sexual misconduct, false speech, divisive speech, offensive speech, senseless speech, covetousness, malice, and ignorance. The plane comprising hell consists of 8 hot hells and 8 cold hells. For more details on the hells, please refer to my previous video on the Chinese afterlife. Generally, in addition to the 10 unwholesome actions, the mentality of beings reborn in hell corresponds to states of extreme fear, helplessness, and anguish. Moving up, the plane comprising the animals includes all non-human forms of life capable of feeling suffering regardless of size: mammals, birds, fish, insects, etc. Besides the 10 unwholesome actions, beings born into this realm are primarily ignorant and live mainly by following their instincts rather than their intellect, thus, behaving like animals. Above the animals is the plane of hungry ghosts, consisting of unhappy spirits wandering in a kind of purgatory, where they search in vain for sensual pleasures but are constantly thwarted in their desires. Besides the 10 unwholesome actions, the primary distinguishing trait they all share is a lack mentality, which manifests as actual scarcity in the world they inhabit. The asuras, who occupy the plane above the hungry ghosts, consist of fallen demons and titans, who are constantly engaged in relentless conflict with each other and with the devas. They are said to comprise many disparate groups and lack a single ruler, though one of their leaders is the Hindu god/demon Rahu. They are reborn into this realm primarily due to the 10 unwholesome actions and are distinguished by their egoistic nature. In some Buddhist literature, the asuras are considered to be above the human realm. The next realm is one we are all familiar with, the human realm. This realm is characterized by duality, where pain and pleasure coexist, serving as catalysts for the development of virtue and wisdom. Interestingly, Buddhist literature describes 4 continents within this plane of existence, with humans living on Earth located on the southern continent. Could this suggest that the other continents metaphorically refer to extraterrestrial beings living on other stars and planets? For example, the eastern continent is said to be inhabited by people who are 12 feet, 3.7 meters, tall, live for 700 years, and are primarily focused on trading and resource gathering. Meanwhile, the northern continent is described as being home to people approximately 48 feet, 15 meters, tall who live for 1,000 years, reside in cities built in the air, and are fabulously wealthy. Above the human realm, still within the desire world, are 6 planes of Devas. These include the Devas of the 4 great kings, the 33 gods, Yama Devas, joyful Devas, Devas delighting in creation, and Devas wielding power over creation of others. Common traits among these gods are their adherence to the 10 wholesome actions, the opposite of the 10 unwholesome actions described earlier, their development of virtues and wisdom, and their demonstration of these qualities through generous and charitable acts. The term Deva is somewhat imprecise, referring to any being who lives in a longer-lived and generally more blissful state than humans. Devas in the desire world can be classified as gods or deities, similar to those found in most polytheistic or monotheistic religions. Devas beyond the desire world can also be called Devas, but they typically have little or no concern with the human world and rarely, if ever, interact with it. Generally, as one ascends the planes of Devas, and beyond, the Devas have increasingly longer lifespans than those on the previous plane. The Devas of the 4 great kings correspond to the 4 elementals found in nature, gnomes, undines, sylphs, and salamanders. In Buddhist literature, they are known as dwarfs, fairies, nagas or dragons, and goblins. Also considered part of this realm are the Garudas, the Devas who oversee the sun and moon, and celestial musicians. The realm of the 33 gods is said to be home to 33 million gods, goddesses, Devas, and supernatural beings, many of whom reside in mansions in the air. Among them are the Hindu gods Varuna and Vayu, as well as Apsaras and nymphs. The ruler of this realm is Sakra, king of the Devas, who governs alongside his consort, Shachi Devi. The Yama Devas realm is sometimes called the heaven without fighting, because it is the lowest of the heavens that is physically separated from the conflicts of the earthly world. The Devas in this realm live carefree lives in the air. The joyful Devas realm, as its name suggests, is a place of great joy and merriment. It is best known as the realm where bodhisattvas dwell before their final human birth. Before Buddha Sakyamuni, the Buddha of our current era, was born, he resided here as the Bodhisattva Svetaketu. Similarly, the Bodhisattva Natha is currently residing in this realm. He will be reborn as Ajita and will become the Buddha Maitreya, the next Buddha. The realm of the Devas delighting in their own creation is a region where the Devas possess the power to create any kind of sensory objects and even alter their physical appearance, all for their own pleasure. The realm of the Devas wielding power over the creation of others is where the Devas enjoy sensory pleasures created by others. This realm is also home to a group of divine beings known as Mara, whose primary goal is to keep all beings trapped in the grip of sensual pleasures. Mara is the demon who appeared to Buddha before his enlightenment, attempting to tempt him away from awakening. Before moving on to the fine material world, let's recap the desire world. It consists of 11 realms where experiences, whether pleasurable or unpleasant, are dominated by the 5 senses. 7 of these realms are considered favorable destinations, including our human realm and 6 realms inhabited by Devas. The remaining 4 realms are considered unfavorable destinations and include the realms of hell beings, animals, hungry ghosts, and asuras. To understand the fine material world, as well as the immaterial world, one must first grasp the concept of jhanas. Jhanas refer to states of deep concentration and meditative absorption achieved through sustained and focused meditation on a specific object, such as the breath, a mantra, or a visualized image. As one reaches increasingly deeper levels of concentration, they enter the jhana states, each characterized by distinct qualities and experiences. Typically, 4 main jhanas are described, followed by an additional 4 formless jhanas, making a total of 8. In the first jhana, the mind becomes fully focused on the meditation object, leading to the emergence of joy and bliss. In the second jhana, this joy and bliss transform into a more refined serenity. The third jhana gives rise to equanimity, where attachment to both pleasure and pain ceases. In the fourth jhana, only pure awareness and mindfulness remain. Beyond the fourth jhana, the four formless jhanas are known as infinite space, infinite consciousness, nothingness, and neither perception nor non-perception. With this basic understanding, the fine material world consists of 16 realms inhabited by devas who experience highly refined states of mental pleasure. These realms are accessible to those who have attained at least some level of the first four jhanas. The devas in these realms are described as having bodies of pure light. Since they no longer have sensual desires, beings born in these realms do not possess any gender. The first jhana is associated with three realms, collectively known as the Brahma worlds, each corresponding to the depth of concentration achieved. Those with a minor degree of the first jhana reside in the retinue of Brahma realm. The medium degree is associated with the ministers of Brahma realm, while the highest degree corresponds to the great Brahma's realm. Great Brahma, considered one of the Hindu trinity alongside Vishnu and Shiva, is believed to inhabit the great Brahma's realm. In Buddhism, Great Brahma is seen as a deity who mistakenly believes himself to be the omnipotent creator of the universe. Those familiar with my videos on Gnosticism might notice similarities between Great Brahma and the Demiurge. The inhabitants of these three realms are said to have arisen after Great Brahma experienced a desire for companions, leading him to believe he is their creator, a belief shared by the inhabitants themselves. The mental states of those in these realms are characterized by observation, reflection, joy, and bliss. However, the Brahma worlds are not exempt from destruction. At the end of the universe's cycle, known as a Mahakalpa, the Brahma worlds, along with the other lower realms, are consumed by fire. The second jhana is associated with three realms, the devas of limited radiance, minor degree, the devas of limitless radiance, medium degree, and the devas of streaming radiance, highest degree. Inhabitants of these realms are characterized by joy and bliss. Unlike the Brahma worlds, these three realms are destroyed by water after 8 Mahakalpas. The third jhana is associated with three realms, the devas of limited glory, minor degree, the devas of unbounded glory, medium degree, and the devas of total glory, highest degree. Inhabitants of these realms are characterized by serenity. These three realms are destroyed by wind after 64 Mahakalpas. The fourth jhana is associated with 7 realms, devas having great fruits, unconscious beings as well as the 5 pure abodes comprising of devas not falling, untroubled devas, beautiful devas, clear-sighted devas, and devas equal in rank. These realms are spared from destruction and are considered eternal. Inhabitants of these realms are characterized by equanimity. In the realm of the unconscious beings, inhabitants possess bodies without consciousness, having achieved a state of non-perception through meditative practice aimed at suppressing consciousness. They mistakenly believe that by attaining unconsciousness, they can free themselves from suffering. However, when the lifespan in this realm ends, the beings pass away and are reborn in other planes where their consciousness re-emerges. The 5 highest realms in this group are known as the pure abodes. Unlike other realms, these are not inhabited by beings born through ordinary merit or meditative attainments, but exclusively by anagamans, non-returners, who are at the third stage of enlightenment. At this stage, individuals have reached a level of spiritual development where they will not be reborn into lower realms but will achieve full enlightenment and become arahants. Entry into the pure abodes is restricted to those who have overcome the 5 lower fetters, self-view, skeptical doubt, clinging to rites and ceremonies, sense desires, and ill will. While in the pure abodes, they will eliminate the remaining fetters of craving for fine material existence, craving for immaterial existence, conceit, restlessness, and ignorance. No bodhisattva is born in the pure abodes, as bodhisattvas must eventually be reborn as human beings. The devas of the pure abodes predict the coming of a Buddha and ensure that a bodhisattva in his final life will see the 4 signs leading to his renunciation. Brahma Sahampati, who urged the newly enlightened Buddha to teach, was an inhabitant of these realms. Finally, In the immaterial world, there are four realms corresponding to the four formless jhanas: infinite space, infinite consciousness, nothingness, and neither perception nor non-perception. Inhabitants of these realms are those who, in a previous life, attained and remained in the formless jhanas during meditation and now experience the results of that mental state by being reborn into these realms. These realms do not exist in physical space, as their inhabitants lack physical form and are composed entirely of mind. Although they have achieved the formless jhanas, bodhisattvas are not born into these realms due to their vow to be reborn into the human realm to assist humanity. In summary, the 31 planes of existence in Buddhist cosmology offer a detailed framework for understanding rebirth based on one's spiritual development and merit. These planes are categorized into the desire world, the fine material world, and the immaterial world, each reflecting different levels of consciousness and mental states. This classification highlights the crucial role of the mind in shaping our experiences and underscores how it is possible to transcend the cycle of samsara. This transcendence occurs by refining our mind, initially through the perfection of charity and moral behavior, and ultimately through the attainment of elevated states of consciousness through meditation.